Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke and this is the pre-match for Sligo Rovers versus Everton. It's one of the pre-season friendlies for this season and this will be the testimonial for Seamus Coleman. Now, talking about this, going into this game right now, I've had a little look over the training footage and everything, and Everton look like they're actually training with the Republic of Ireland's training facilities. Decent little facilities really. I know there was actually some contention about the facilities because a lot of the Irish players actually complained because they're not as good as what some other international teams actually have. But in all honesty, they look like really great facilities and the lads seem to be really enjoying it. A couple of the new signings that we've got, as well as Jack Harrison who's come back with us on loan, they look like they're having a really good time there. So I'm actually excited for this game because it is actually going to be a really good game. To see what the players have sort of picked up during the off-season, I think they've all survived Gaffer's Day. So let's have a little talk about Sligo Rovers. So Sligo Rovers, they've been founded for quite a while now. So they were founded in 1928. They are based in Sligo, obviously. So this is the far west of Ireland. The ground itself actually has a maximum capacity of 5,500, but because of seating and everything, it is actually 4,000 seated. They have actually had two of our players, so believe it or not, we've actually had two Everton players. So one of them being Seamus Coleman. Now, I know a lot of very knowledgeable Evertonians will already know exactly who this, but the other one, this will actually surprise quite a few people, and to be honest, up until reading this a couple of years back, actually surprised me. One of the other players was actually Dixie Dean. So when Dixie Dean left us, he went to Notts County for a while, and then I believe he actually went to Sligo Rovers as well. Near the end of his career, he actually had 7 appearances for Sligo Rovers and scored 10 times. So he actually had a major plus positive for appearance to goal ratio for Sligo Rovers. He had a really good one. So yeah, one thing to note as well. So Sligo are actually still playing currently in the Irish League. I think it's called the Irish Premier League or the Irish Premiership. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I should have noted it down in my notes. So apologies for that one if I've actually butchered it and offended a few Irish people. But yeah, so the way their system actually works is quite a weird one. It's a 10-team league system, and they play each other 4 times, so it's kind of like a round robin. So they play themselves twice at home, twice away. So just imagine doing this in the Premier League sort of standard. So if you took the Premier League table, sliced it in half, and you literally had 4 teams, so potentially you could have, 10 teams. You could potentially have 4 Merseyside derbies. So think of that one. 2 home, 2 away. That is madness. But yeah, it's basically based around that system. So you've got 2 home, 2 away, and their relegation system's just as kooky as well. So what happens with them 10 teams, if you are at the very bottom, you're pretty much relegated. There's no chance of you getting out of it and staying in the league. But if you are second from bottom, you actually play the second place in the league below. So let's say for argument's sake, someone finishes 9th. You basically play the second place guy in the league below. So for example, let's say for argument's sake, Leicester ends up 9th and Leeds finish 2nd. You could have a Leicester v Leeds to see who stays in the top tier and who goes down. That would be nerve-wracking to say the very least, because if we were to have a bad season, we were to finish 2nd from our bottom and we had to play the 2nd in the division below, for some reason our records against teams like that, our first run-in with a newly promoted team or a fresh team like that is never great. So in that sort of situation, I would not imagine us to do well. But yeah, so that's a brief little talk over Sligo Rovers and their league and their system. Let's have a little talk about Everton. So as I said, most of the first team are actually out there. So we are actually missing a few people, being Pickford, Mikolenko, and Onana. Bear in mind, Onana still technically is part of our team. Before anyone says, oh no, he's actually already gone to Aston Villa. No, he's not. He's currently on holiday. So what's going to happen is when he gets back off holiday, he's going to have a medical with Aston Villa, and everything's going to get finalised on that front. But I'll talk about that in further depth in a future video. We'll talk about that in the very near future, because I'm expecting when he comes back off holiday, that's all been done, dusted. He's going to be moved on, and we're going to get someone else new in with that 50 million that is supposedly meant to happen. So yeah, so I'm going to do a very quick predicted lineup on this one as well. So bear in mind, I've had to look over the training videos, and this is based on people I've seen as well. So this is the predicted lineup. So I've got João Virginia in goal, Seamus Coleman at the right back, obviously. Now, bear in mind, for some reason I put Tarkowski as captain. I should have put Coleman as captain, so forgive that one. Michael Keane in the centre alongside Tarkowski with Ashley Young at left back. Why am I doing Michael Keane instead of Branthwaite? I do not want us starting with a full strength squad off the bat. I would like for us to have like a bit of a patchy team to sort of start out. So test with new players, test with players that we've got a bit on the fringe, see if we can get them into some sort of, shape and form. Now, this, in all argument's sake, could work with Dele Alli as well, but the thing is with Dele Alli is technically, he's not our player. He's out of contract. Until we get everything agreed with Tottenham Hotspur, get everything all signed off and whatnot, he is technically not our player right now. He can't legally play for us, I do believe. He can train with us, all well and good, but he can't technically play for us right now. So yeah. So we've got Idrissa Gueye as the number 6. By far one of the best number 6 we've got at the moment. Out right wing, we've got James Garner. I was thinking of doing Harrison right wing, but in all honesty, I think Harrison would be better off playing in the natural position of a left winger. So James Garner seems to be one of the better ones for that position. We do need to get a proper right winger because right now it's one of our biggest holes. We need a natural right winger. It's all well and good having Harrison out on the right wing, but it's not his proper position. So him being out on the right wing just doesn't seem to work with that. So we've also got Iliman Ndiaye as well Iliman Ndiaye sitting there. So he's going to be acting as a number 10. He can actually operate as a second striker as well. So what we could do is when we're pushing forward, he goes into the second striker, provides Roberto, and him being a finishing product, obviously. And then outside of that, he comes a little bit further back and assists Tim Inobernum, who's going to be playing as the number 8. Now, the reason I haven't got them sort of sitting in line like that is more down to the fact that the thing doesn't like it. This lineup setup is good and everything, but it just doesn't like having people sitting in a straight line. So it could have been essentially almost like a 4-1-3-1-1 in a way, as weird as it sounds. So yeah. So Irbenham has come in from Aston Villa, so this is a very quick one. He's a nice, hard-hitting sort of number 8 player, so he likes to play box-to-box. He likes to get his movements out, shut up phone, and he gets everywhere on the pitch. Has a decent little bit of skill about him. Likewise with Ndiaye. Ndiaye is very, very tricky. He likes to move up and down that field as well. He likes to go from the halfway line up to the opposition box. And he's very good at setting up our forwards to try and get that finishing product. So one thing I'll expect from him is not an awful lot of goals, but a lot of assists, to tell you very, very honestly. So this is one thing for us. Like I said, Calvert-Lewin, as we know, he's not willing to sign a new contract as of yet, and not many teams are actually sniffing around him at the moment. I'm hoping someone does actually pick him up. I don't want him to go on a free, but if he was to go on a free, I'll be honest, I would probably be tempted to just put him on the fringe and just say, right, mate, you're taking the biscuit a bit here, mate. You're not going to sign a contract with us. You're not helping us by throwing the dummy out in regards to wages and everything. So go with the under-21s, go in the under-18s, something like that. Just do that. You're no longer part of the big boys table now. If you're going to act like a child, go down there. Your service has been great, but you do not want to end this on such a poor way. But yeah, so over to Jack Harrison. So as we know what Jack Harrison's like, last season we knew exactly what he liked. He was a decent winger, so he likes to get up and down that pitch. He's got a nice little bit of skill about him, so that'll work rather well with the likes of Iliman and Ndiaye. So he could have a little bit of a little trick here and there, a little feint, little crossover and whatnot, and provide for Iliman and Ndiaye, who can provide for Beto. Fingers crossed anyway. But yeah, now going over to Beto. So Beto, I think this is an ideal opportunity for him to show his worth. He's not really shown himself as a long-stay Premier League player, but I think in this opportunity right now against someone like Sligo Rovers, he could potentially show his worth by getting a couple of goals here and there. Now, for the second half, obviously, I would actually swap out this team almost in its entirety, so, the likes of Idrissa Gueye, I'll probably swap him out with Irbenham, so bring him out, get Irbenham in, get Decore in, have Ndiaye fall a little bit deeper, bring McNeil on for Harrison, or even bring McNeil on for Garner. swap, change everything up. Michael Keane comes off and brings, say, Jared Branthwaite on, and potentially Tarkowski bring him off and put Holgate on. We've got to experiment with these lads. I mean, even Beto, so take Beto off and bring Youssef Chimiti on. Do a massive switch up. Just get it all completely switched around and try other lads as well. We can't swap out Virginia for anyone, really. I mean, we could do. We've got a couple of other goalkeepers there as well. But I think with Virginia being the number 2, getting as much game time for him as possible is key. Likewise with Nathan Patterson. Now, if anyone actually hasn't looked, I want people to have a look on the Everton website and look at the players. Nathan Patterson has bulked up something fierce. And I don't mean like chubby. He's not gotten chubby. He's actually went and hit the gym and bulked up and made himself a much bigger player. So I'm expecting him to have a lot more oomph going up and down that right side of the defence, or I should say the right side of the field. He's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on in this future. I know for a fact if Sean Dyche gives him a clip around the head, he'll probably turn around and bloody pick Dyche up like a fucking ragdoll. But anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this video. I do really appreciate the support. Also, if you like these that are behind me, go over to Rob, who does Forever Everton. He makes some brilliant artwork, so definitely give him a little look around his stuff. He's also got the new wallpaper for the 2024-25 season. It's going to be the current home shirt, which is another video I'm going to have to talk about, because I've got a few opinions on that home shirt. Now, don't get me wrong, good home shirt, but I'm going to save them for the video. But yeah, guys, again, go give Rob some support. He makes some brilliant stuff here. I really do appreciate the stuff that he has, and if Calvert-Lewin goes, I'm going to have to get something different there. I'm hoping I might have to get something for Pickford, honestly, because Pickford is pretty much the club's talisman. Him, Branthwaite, Tarkowski. Ooh, there's a few players, actually. But yeah. But anyway, guys, apologies as well if I sound a little bit gruff and the video's not as fluid as it normally is. I'm currently suffering right now. I've been hit with the old 19, and it's kind of knocked my voice a little bit, and it is a brutal one. I've not been able to get very much sleep, so bags under the eyes are kind of obvious and whatnot. But yeah, I'm powering through it. Hopefully by this weekend I should be a fair bit better, and hopefully I should start seeing negative tests. But yeah, guys, for the final time, thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy this game. Up the fucking toffees. Take care and peace.